These tips have helped me manifest my ideal life and my dream routine, so let me share them with you. And some of them are gonna sound a little weird and wacky, but trust me, they have actually worked. And I have to just say, the reason I think these things work is it's not just this like woo-woo magical thing. It's because you're putting yourself in the headspace to achieve your goals or start living a life that you want to live. Welcome back, or welcome to my YouTube channel if you're new here. My name is Morgan Venn. I am a holistic nutritionist. I make travel videos, and I love talking about health, lifestyle, and building a routine that fits you and your unique personality, life, etc. So if you're new, please make sure to subscribe, as this really supports me as a creator. It's completely free, and I think only a few of my watchers are subscribed. So it would mean a lot if you can just take a quick second and click that button. But let's just jump right into it. I'm going to be sharing with you 10 steps and techniques that can help you achieve your ideal life. Step number 1 is visualization. And this is actually the hardest part. What do you want? I feel like a lot of the time we don't even know what we want. We don't know what our ideal dream life looks like. So it's hard to achieve it if you don't even know it. So first you have to decide, what does your day-to-day look like, and begin to visualize it. How do you want to wake up in the morning? What do you do for fun? How are you making your money? What is your career? What drives you? What gives you a sense of fulfillment? Is it talking to people every day, socializing, painting, art? Maybe you're more visual and creative. Does helping people or helping animals make you feel fulfilled? And the first technique under this idea of visualization is go through and write out a list. What kind of career do you think would fulfill you? What do your mornings look like? What do your evenings look like? How do you want to act? What kind of person do you come across? How do people interpret you? How do you think of yourself? Do you feel very confident and extroverted, or do you love being more introverted? Basically, just go through and write a list of every quality you can think of yourself or what you want to be. And then this is where visualization comes into play. Create a clear picture in your mind and truly try to visualize it. Close your eyes and imagine that the thing you want is already happening. Whether that's living your dream job, going to work in the morning, taking the train, or maybe it's as simple as visualize how you would feel if your partner was texting you the way you want them to, or maybe the person you have a crush on. Like, how does it feel to know you already have that? And really zone in on the visual aspects, like what kind of texts are you getting, and also mainly the feeling. Also, I am sweating right now because I am in Maine and it is really nice and hot and beautiful, but I am literally getting sweat drip down my back. So if I start sweating in this video, you know why. Truly feel the emotions associated with it, see the details, and almost immerse yourself in this vision. And it sounds silly, but the more real you make it in your mind, the more energy you give off that you are secure and that you're on your way to making those goals. Whether you're religious or spiritual and you believe you're telling God or the universe, I do believe it gives out this open energy in order to receive it. Bear with me though, okay? We're gonna get into some more tips. Then step 2 is to get very specific. So instead of just saying, I want to make $100,000 a year, or I want to be successful, get very specific in that I want to become a graphic designer and I would like to be making $10,000 a month and living in California. I would like to be part-time, remote, whatever the things are. Truly, the more specific you get, the more focused your manifestations or your visions will be. Step 3 involves this idea of scripting. So write out your day as if you are already living it and what you do by every hour, or just basically run yourself through the day as if your manifestations have come true. So for me, for example, something I really manifested is I wanted to be self-employed, independent, working remote, able to travel. So I wrote out for myself what that looks like. I wake up at 8 a.m. because I can sleep in a little more. I go and get myself a coffee. I sit down at my laptop. I do some work until about 10:30. Then I take myself to go for a walk because I work remote and I can have the luxury of doing that. Then I get myself maybe a little pastry or lunch. I also think in my head very specific things like, okay, I'm gonna be planning out a video, I'm gonna be writing this script, I'm gonna be editing this, I'm gonna be booking these flights. And another thing I want to manifest, and something I am scripting for myself now, is I want to have a connection with someone again. I've had a lot of fun with dating, and you can watch my dating videos, but I definitely want to just focus on the people who give me as much energy as I give them. So how I can write that into my new routine is I wake up and my partner is next to me and we cuddle for like 5-10 minutes. He gets me coffee in bed. Then we go down together and either he goes off to work or we go and work remote together somewhere. Maybe I meet him for dinner with him and his friends. You're basically just writing out all these visualizations that you want to come true. And the reason why I believe scripting works is because it actually aligns your visions with your goals and makes them actionable. So you're able to target the specific habits you want to do in order to accomplish your manifestation. Because like I said, it's not just like wishing that this all comes true. It's a way to inspire you and to implement some of those habits that you would already be living. And that brings me to step 4. What aspects of this can you already be doing? For example, let's say you're trying to be healthier and you want to live a healthier lifestyle. Maybe you wake up at 7 a.m. and you go to the gym and you start small. You say, okay, I'm gonna wake up at 7 a.m., go to the gym for 30 minutes. I'm gonna meal prep maybe some egg bites or muffins, chia pudding, whatever recipe you're going for. And basically, like I mentioned, you are taking actionable steps towards your goals. And you're going through the day that you've visualized, everything you've written out, and you're checking which ones you can already do. Sweating again. Sorry, one sec. I truly believe the best advice I've ever received is act as if you're already living your ideal life. And then things just kind of fall into place naturally because it's like faking it till you make it. It just ends up being what you're doing. And then the next step is positive affirmations. So you've probably heard of this a lot, but it's basically just telling yourself a lot of grateful thoughts, a lot of positive things about yourself. It's very just motivational talk that can help push you towards your goals. And another amazing tip that has really helped me is write out or say aloud these affirmations that align with your goals daily until you truly believe in them. So a good one, for example, is I am confident, I am very social, I easily make friends. If you asked me if I felt that way about myself like a year ago or even 2 years ago, I would have said, you know, I feel confident in some days, or I feel like there's some parts of myself that I like. But now if you ask me that, oh, Morgan, do you feel confident? Sweating. Do you feel confident meeting new people? Do you feel like you can easily socialize? I'd say, yeah, I feel very confident. I feel very social. The same thing goes with I effortlessly can make new habits. I am very routine. I am very habitual. I think by saying it out loud consistently, you are training your brain to believe that these things are true. Okay, now we're gonna get into like the weird tips that sound a little like woo-woo-y, but they're actually really helpful and I think they work. So the first one is called the mirror method. For me specifically, I will blast music that aligns with my manifestations. So maybe I'll put some on the screen and maybe I can play quick snippets of it because I think copyright will stop me. But I will sing to myself in the mirror, especially in the morning, get myself in a good mood. Again, I'm saying positive affirmations. These are affirming songs. I'm loaded, I'm loaded, I'm gonna get money, I'm loaded, roll it up. Because I do believe what you say out loud and what you say to yourself consistently becomes your thought pattern. It becomes the way you think. And if you consistently think to yourself, like, I don't even want to say it, but like, I'm so ugly or I'm so blah, 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 that's gonna be your belief. Your world is made up of your thoughts. So for example, I will just go to my mirror and sing like who's the baddest of them all or whatever. Like another one I have is I love this song. It's called like I'm loaded, I'm loaded. That's like my money manifestation song. And it sounds so silly, but it also raises your mood and it's just like a fun way to start the morning. The next one is called the O method. And if you haven't heard of it, well, let me just put you onto it because I do believe it works. So the O method is basically you are most in touch with your higher self or your inner sense of like vibration and energy when you're orgasming. So the O method is when you pleasure yourself or someone else does, you think and visualize your ideal manifestation, whatever it is that's on the top of your mind, whatever your like biggest goal is right now, and you visualize it while you are. So it sounds so silly, but I can count, I think honestly, like 9 out of 10 times it's worked. Like every single time, basically, it's come true. Even as silly as like, this person's gonna come back into my life, or this person's gonna text me. and just like visualizing how that feels. Or especially one of like, I am so effortlessly beautiful. And the next day I'll walk around and someone will go up to me and be like, wow, you are so beautiful. I was like, really? I didn't feel that way until I did the O method. I've also realized whatever you say to yourself, you notice more in the world. So if you say to yourself like, I'm so pretty and I'm so well dressed, when someone compliments you on your outfit, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I knew it. But at the same time, if you're in this negative headspace of, I feel so like gross and like ugly, when someone gives you like a weird look, you're gonna be thinking like, they think I'm gross and ugly, when maybe they're giving you a weird look because their sun is in their eye, or maybe they weren't even looking at you, or maybe they were jealous. I don't know. You can phrase the world however you want, and you can interpret other people's actions how you wish. Step 8, and I learned this from TikTok, is called the whispering method. And this one, I feel a little iffy on. Let me know if you've ever tried it and if it works for you. But essentially, it's where you visualize yourself. You kind of enter this like dream state, like you close your eyes, breathe deeply for like 5 seconds or so, and you visualize, you go up to a person that you want who maybe is related to your manifestation. For example, let's say you want a promotion at work. So you visualize wherever your boss would be at this time of day, wherever they would be sitting. Maybe they're in the office, maybe they're at a cafe they always go to, and you visualize yourself going up to them as if you're there, like almost like a ghost. So you're like transporting yourself there, and you go up to them and you whisper 3 times in their ear, give Morgan a raise, give Morgan a raise, give Morgan a raise, or whatever it is you want. And then if it's like, I've heard you're supposed to kiss them on the forehead, but I'm thinking like, I wouldn't want to do that to my boss. So that feels a little weird. I also don't think I've only used this in romantic scenarios. I don't think I've ever been like, I'm gonna go up to someone random and ask for a job through the whisper method. No, I'm more practical in that way, which makes me think maybe I should be too with dating. But anyways, I have done it where I visualize like the guy is like working or whatever, and then I go up and I like whisper 3 times, like text Morgan this, and then like give him a kiss on the forehead and fade away. And I will say it actually has worked once. But it's also like, I do believe if you're desperate for something, if you're forcing something, it's not gonna happen for you. It should just kind of be like organic, and everything that's right for you feels easy and pretty clear, if that's a good word, like almost like smooth water, like it's just so effortless. Tip number 9, and this kind of relates to positive affirmations, but this is gratitude, and gratitude journaling as if you already have this thing. You could also call this, maybe it's like writing a letter method, but it's writing in a diary and being like, dear diary, I'm so thankful today. This person texted me and he was so sweet. He got me flowers and I woke up and I got to have such a delicious breakfast and I worked my amazing job that I love. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for giving me everything I've always wanted. And it's kind of just like projecting out this gratitude and putting yourself again in this headspace as if you do deserve it. And I know it sounds like really cheesy and like, okay, you're just, I don't know, making up that you have these things. I think it makes you feel like you deserve it, and therefore allows you to feel more confident in going after that thing. For example, if it's a job, right? If you feel confident in, I deserve to become the manager at my branch or whatever, and you're telling yourself, I'm so grateful, I've learned so much and I've become such a great manager, you know that you deserve it, you know you're gonna get there, and then I feel like things in life fall into place easier. And weirdly enough, okay, little side tangent before I say the last thing, do you ever feel like you've had moments where you were like, I kind of always knew this was gonna happen, I just didn't know how or when? A good example for me is I always knew I was gonna be a YouTuber. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I knew deep down this was in my cards, like something within the media. I remember looking at like what major I wanted to do in college, and I picked communications. And weirdly enough, I felt like I should do communications because like I can do something media related, but like doing TV or radio kind of scares me. But I just feel like there's something there. I feel like I'm going to be in media somehow. And like here I am. So I guess my question for you is like, have you ever felt like you kind of know something is happening, or maybe you're almost like rushing to get there because you know your future self has it? I know that sounds crazy, but I've truly experienced that. So just know that if you are desperately wanting something at times, you can slow yourself down and just rest assured that you are going to get there or you're going to have that thing. It just might not be right now. And one of my friends had always said this to me: the universe or God or whatever your religion is, three things: yes, not right now, or I have something better. And I kind of like that. It gives me tingles. I'm like tingling as I say that because it's true. And the last tip is vision boarding. I guess this goes into play with visualization as well, but the reason I put it last is because I wanted to obviously show like visual examples of what I've created, and I wanted to point out which ones have come true for me. For example, the first one I made, I wanted 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. That was like a goal I was trying to reach, and I got there. I got to connect with over 100,000 people, which is incredible. Another one is I wanted to get back into a really healthy lifestyle. Weirdly enough too, I struggled a lot with body image, so I would put images of women who I think looked beautiful, confident, and it wasn't necessarily like thin women. It was just like, oh, they look so like happy in their lifestyle. And I feel like I achieved that. I kind of created my vision board with this like effortless feel about it, and I feel like I got there. Another one is I really wanted a Porsche for a long time. I didn't get the exact model Porsche, but I got a Porsche. So universe was like, yes, not right now, but we'll give you something in the meantime. I also like to place my vision board as like a background on my phone or on my desktop wallpaper, like on my MacBook, because this acts as a visual reminder of what goals I've set for myself or what I want to manifest, what I want to achieve, puts me in the right headspace every single day, and it reminds me that all of this is possible. It's definitely a way to reinforce your commitment to these manifestations, or in a more realism sense, your goals. But that's it for all my tips and tricks. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, make sure to like, and I will see you in the next one.